I know, everything seems extremely bearish right now. The markets are suffering, capital is drying up, and confidence is at an all-time low. But diamonds aren't created in easy conditions, but under some of the most stressful and pressurized conditions known to man. This is true of diamond-handed traders as well. You gotta feel the pain before you get any gain. So are you ready to rough it out and get that diamond shined? Well, you don't really have a choice, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Since the end of 2020, December to be exact, Ethereum has been gaining major ground on Bitcoin. BTC dominated the markets, controlling over 71% of total market capitalization, while Ethereum controlled just 10%. Since then, Bitcoin dominance has fallen to about 42%, while Ethereum dominance has doubled to about 20% of total capitalization. What happened in December of 2020, kicking off this dominance run? Well, Ethereum launched their proof-of-stake beacon chain, and that was the first step in the merge process, and it was complete. The path to the merge has been continuing for the past year and a half, and as of today, we are in the final stretch to when proof of work turns off and proof of stake officially takes over Ethereum sometime later this year. Many people are underestimating the significance of this for Ethereum. But even more people are underestimating the significance of this for Web3 infrastructure coins. The merge will be the beginning of these coins unleashing their true decentralized powers for the world to behold. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Look at the top 3 Web3 coins, which will only become more dominant in the markets once the merge goes live. The merge is about proof of stake. So the first coin we are covering is the one and only decentralized staking pool for Ethereum. Now, to stake with Ethereum and run a node, there are some hefty requirements, which includes 32 Ether. With today's prices, that's an over $84,000 investment. For most people, that is out of reach, which means they can't use their ETH to gain yield and rewards from securing the Ethereum blockchain. But in comes pooling, which is combining different people's ETH together to fulfill the 32 ETH requirement. But many of the pooling coins and companies are centralized, meaning there is a single point of failure, which goes against the ethos of decentralization. But not with Rocketpool. They worked and built for years, creating the first decentralized staking pool for proof-of-stake Ethereum. Now, the beauty of staking with Rocketpool is the boosted APRs validators receive, and for those who don't have enough Ethereum, people can contribute to a validator with just 0.01 of an ETH and earn yield for staking. Rocketpool works like this. There is a creator of a validator Minipool, which only has to deposit 16 ETH into that pool. Then stakers fulfill the rest of the 16 ETH requirement by joining the Minipool, which can be hundreds of people depositing varying amounts of ETH, even just 0.01. As we can see from the Rocketpool website, stakers who contribute to a validator's Minipool earn over 4% APR on their ETH. But the big rewards come in for being a Minipool operator. Checking out their Rocketpool dashboard, we can see the average beacon chain return is 4.51% APR. Yet when staking with Rocketpool, this allows validators to earn 5.19% due to the extra commissions they receive.
But wait! There's more!
You also earn an APR and RPL tokens for staking with the Minipool. As we can see, average APRs for staking RPL is a boosted 13.42% APR, which if you stake just the minimum amount of RPL with your node, which is 147, you would earn an extra nearly 20 RPL tokens, which turns out to be 0.21 of an ETH. So who doesn't want those nice returns for their sitting idle ETH and RPL tokens? I sure know I do. Although setting up a mini pool through normal avenues requires technical knowledge and the use of command line. It's not hard and it's doable, but for newbies it can be way over their head. Luckily, chicocrypto has an Avado, the plug-and-play blockchain computer for running nodes, making it easy to set them up. I bought my Avado all the way back in December of 2020, so I could solo stake on the Ethereum proof-of-stake network, which made it seamless and easy to get me earning the early ETH rewards. Avado now supports Rocketpool Minipools, and I just want to show you how easy it is to get set up. First, you need to download Ethereum's main chain, which is Geeth, and Ethereum 2, the proof-of-stake chain, Teku or Prism. Since I'm already running an ETH2 validator on this, I already have them installed. Now you need to go to the Avado dApp store and download the Rocketpool client. After downloaded, go to My dApps and open Rocketpool. Next, click Start Setup and set a password for your hot wallet used to create the mini pool. Once set, you will then need to download a backup of this wallet. Next, you need to fund the wallet with 16.4 ETH. The extra 0.4 is for transaction fees, and the RPL you'll need to stake. Remember, minimum is 147. Once you send the transactions to the wallet's public address, it will take you to the Register Node screen. Click Register Node, which will submit a transaction and register the node. Next, you need to submit your withdrawal address, which will be the address you receive the rewards at. And when or if you exit validating, your Ethereum and staked RPL will be sent to too. Once set, click Set Withdrawal Address, and it will submit a transaction. Now you are ready to set your mini pool. First, you need to approve RPL by clicking the Approve button. Once approved, you need to stake your RPL by clicking the Stake button. And then you need to send the 16 ETH to the pool by clicking Deposit 16 ETH and Create Mini Pool. Once all those transactions are approved and in the green, you will be prompted to download your Rocketpool backup data. Download that and then click Go to Status page. Your mini pool should show up in the pre-launch stage, and it should be initialized in the next about 12 hours.
Easy peasy
Lemon squeezy, and I'll be earning those juicy APRs very soon. And if you want an Avado for making Web3 and Node running easy, a link to buy is down in the description. I highly recommend them. Now, I have two other Node projects who are going to surge with the merge. But before we get into that, it's time for a sponsored segment of this video, brought to you by Router Protocol. And like always, the full details of our agreement can be found in the description. Router Protocol, the future of cross-chain bridging and swaps that acts as an infrastructure layer, enabling communication between blockchains. Since launching their alpha mainnet earlier in the year, Router has raised the standards of what users expect from a cross-chain platform, because they're not just a transfer bridge like 99% of solutions. Router is building a mesh network, which allows for tokenized assets to be launched and mapped on multiple chains without fragmenting the assets. Basically, Router has the infrastructure to bring new use cases to interoperability that are currently unavailable in the market, like cross-chain NFT transfers, cross-chain settlement of borrowed capital, and even optimized cross-chain farming strategies. Not only is Router more capable than other bridges and cross-chain swappers, they're also more secure with fully on-chain validators that are not limited to which tokens they can support. In addition, their transaction times are currently clocking in as the fastest in the space. If you launch their mainnet app, xSwap, and give it a whirl, you quickly come to realize their UI is super clean and intuitive and fast. Users can currently perform seamless token swaps and bridges on Polygon, BSC, Avalanche, Phantom, Arbitrum, Optimism, and Ethereum, and more networks are on the way. Furthermore, users can choose which token to pay their fees in, whether it be USDC, the native token to the source chain of the swap, or in Router's route tokens, or even DFYN, the token to Router Protocol's own cross-chain DEX, DFIN. The team behind Router is stacked, and they have years of experience launching successful blockchain projects. And they are backed by some of the smartest money in crypto, including Coinbase Ventures, Polygon, and Alameda Research. And they were recently included in BSC's Most Valuable Builder Accelerator program. And if you're a Web3 developer working in this space or building a project, you'll want to check in with Router, as they have just unveiled their xSwap widget and crosstalk library that will allow developers to unleash the power of Router protocol to assist in building their cross-chain dApps. Crosstalk is a framework that can be used by any existing or new application, allowing smart contracts to interface with contracts on entirely different chains. Building a cross-chain product is difficult. Crosstalk is a plug-and-play system that magically converts every single dApp into a cross-chain application, and it gives developers complete control, helping those devs and teams save countless hours of time and stress when integrating complex cross-chain architecture. In addition, Router will be looking to extend support, including marketing assistance, networking opportunities, and rapid grants to teams that want to help build true cross-chain projects and promote the overall growth of Web3. Router protocol and the Route token are redefining what interoperability truly means. They've reached every milestone of their roadmap and are aggressively continuing to build out the future by partnering with Web3 devs and blockchain projects by offering their tools and crosstalk library to the entire ecosystem. If you're a trader, visit the xSwap app next time you have a cross-chain transaction to make, and you'll see just how easy and quick it is to use. And if you're a Web3 dev or a blockchain project, make sure to visit their Discord and reach out to the team to get more insight on the crosstalk library and how you can partner with them and integrate that technology. Links for everything can be found in the description. Now back to two of my favorite Web3 node projects, and the first one is critical to Web3's decentralization all around. That is Pocket Network. Pocket Network is a decentralized API designed to help Web3 applications communicate with blockchain networks through an exhaustive network of over 46,000 nodes. Pocket provides RPC, remote procedure call access to the ever-growing list of blockchains, including Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Polygon, Gnosis Chain, and 9 others. Pocket is growing exponentially month after month, doing only 221 million relays in July of last year to over 21.5 billion for the month of April this year. A growth of over 10,200% in just 9 months. Shoot, from March to April, the network increased by 9.7 billion relays, an increase of over 82% in a single month. So what type of rewards could one see for running a Pocket node? Well, to run a Pocket node, you need to stake 15,000 POKT. Last month, the average earn across all nodes was 1,734 POKT. If we multiply that by 12 months, that gives us 20,808 POKT earned, which is an APR of over 138%. So how do you run a node? Well, unfortunately, Avado doesn't support Pocket nodes just yet. So to set up a node and begin earning the juicy rewards, you need technical skills, including knowledge of how to use command line. Although there are some services out there if you don't want to dive down the technical rabbit hole. There is Pocket Pool, which is a high-performance pool of nodes designed and maintained by the experts. Thus, there is no minimum requirement of tokens. You can contribute to the pool and begin earning compounding rewards with any amount of Pocket tokens. There are also node running services, like the most popular Coder, which takes a cut of your rewards for hosting the node with them. Or you can pay a flat fee if you have multiple nodes. Now we are going to finish with a Web3 all-star whose existence is critical to almost every chain, dApp, and transaction across the blockchain ecosystems. That is the decentralized Oracle network, better known as Chainlink.
My God, what is that smell?
My Linky stays rather stinky!
Link is so stink, every time I talk about it, I automatically get a poop face. You know what I'm talking about?
We've got to get out of this stench!
Smell bad.
Stench?
Of what speakest thou?
And Chainlink dropping out of the top 10 coins, out of the top 20 to number 30, where it is today, screams buy a zone, as the network is getting upgraded big time twice this year. Staking will be dropping, as well as the first iteration of the CCIP, its cross-chain interoperability protocol. But let's talk about running a node and staking. I've predicted for some time that staking Link would happen by the end of this quarter, which would mean by the end of June, less than 2 months away. So how to get prepared? Well, setting up a Chainlink Oracle node is the most technical of all, and it's not for the faint of heart, although there will be a node provider who has been building a staking pool service for when staking finally goes live. That is Linkpool, which will let users select from curated lists of professionally managed nodes and pools and share in those juicy staking rewards. So there you have it, my friends. Even when the markets are down, there is a way to earn. These projects are all critical to Web3, and Web3 isn't going anywhere. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.